Andrew Tate, a controversial figure known for his outspoken views on success, masculinity, and personal development, offers a perspective that challenges many societal norms. His message, while often polarizing, contains insights that resonate with many, particularly young men seeking direction in an increasingly complex world. At the core of Tate's philosophy is the concept of personal responsibility. He argues vehemently against what he calls a slave mind, urging people to question everything they're told and to think critically about the information they receive. Every single thing you're being told has an agenda behind it, he asserts, encouraging his audience to examine their beliefs and understand their origins. Tate's approach to success is unapologetically direct. He emphasizes the importance of hard work and self-improvement, particularly for men. As a man, you're born with no inherent value, he states, arguing that men must actively work to become important and valuable in society. This perspective, while harsh, is intended to motivate men to strive for excellence and not rely on others for validation or support. A significant portion of Tate's advice focuses on financial success. He views money as the third most important thing in the world, after health and relationships. Tate encourages people to understand how money works, advocating for financial literacy and entrepreneurship. He criticizes the traditional path of education and employment, arguing that simply obeying laws and doing your job is no longer enough to secure a good life. Tate's views on mental health are controversial. While he acknowledges that feeling depressed is real, he challenges the concept of clinical depression as a disease. Instead, he advocates for taking control of one's mind and life circumstances as a way to combat negative feelings. He shares anecdotes of people who have overcome depression through lifestyle changes and personal development, emphasizing the power of action and self-improvement. On relationships and gender roles, Tate holds traditional views. He believes in the importance of marriage and family, with men taking on the role of protectors and providers. While he affirms women's right to make their own choices, he emphasizes what he sees as men's duty to be financially responsible for their partners. Tate's advice often centers on developing a mindset geared towards success. He encourages his audience to analyze every financial transaction, understanding how and why money changes hands. This constant analysis, he argues, can lead to identifying business opportunities and understanding market dynamics. A recurring theme in Tate's message is the importance of breaking free from societal conditioning. He criticizes educational systems and mainstream media, arguing that they often serve to keep people in a slave mind mentality. Instead, he advocates for self-education, particularly through freely available resources like YouTube. Tate's perspective on the world is one of constant competition and the need for personal excellence. He argues that in today's world, being average is no longer sufficient. The idea from the 1950s that you can just be the normal average law-abiding hard-working citizen and you'll have a good life is gone, he states, encouraging his audience to strive for extraordinary success. While Tate's views are often met with criticism, he defends his message by pointing to the positive impact he's had on many lives. He claims to receive thousands of emails from men whose lives he's saved, particularly those who were contemplating suicide before finding motivation in his words. It's important to note that Tate's advice is not without controversy. His views on gender roles, mental health, and success often clash with more mainstream perspectives. Critics argue that his approach oversimplifies complex issues and may promote harmful stereotypes. However, Tate's message resonates with many who feel disillusioned with traditional paths to success. His emphasis on personal responsibility, critical thinking, and financial literacy addresses concerns that many young people have about their futures in an increasingly uncertain world. Tate's advice on business and money management, while blunt, contains practical insights. His emphasis on understanding how money moves and identifying opportunities in everyday situations can be valuable for aspiring entrepreneurs. His advocacy for self-education and utilizing free resources aligns with the growing trend of alternative learning paths. While Tate's views on relationships and gender roles are traditional and controversial, they reflect a perspective that some find appealing in a changing social landscape. His emphasis on men taking responsibility and striving for success to be better partners and providers resonates with those who value traditional family structures. Ultimately, Andrew Tate's message is one of empowerment through personal responsibility and action. Whether one agrees with all his views or not, his core message of taking control of one's life, thinking critically, and working hard towards personal goals contains valuable insights for many. It's crucial for listeners to approach Tate's advice, like any advice, with critical thinking. While his message may be motivating for some, it's important to consider diverse perspectives and consult professionals, particularly on matters of mental health and financial decision-making. In conclusion, Andrew Tate's motivational speech offers a raw, unfiltered perspective on success, personal development, and societal norms. His message challenges conventional wisdom and encourages personal responsibility and critical thinking. While controversial, his views have struck a chord with many, particularly young men seeking direction in a complex world. As with any influential figure, it's important for individuals to critically evaluate his advice and make informed decisions based on their own circumstances and values.